Hi everybody, Trisha Peridot, and this week's topic is all about letting go of all of those feelings you have about what everybody else thinks about you. All of that worry, all of that anxiety, all of those premonitions and perceptions that we hold about what everybody else is thinking about us, right? Why do we feel that need to present ourselves in a way that will please another person? What about the words that we choose to use when we're communicating with somebody? Why are we always so worried about what somebody else thinks? These are the things that keep us frozen in our life. They keep us stuck right where we are. They don't allow us to grow. They don't allow us to flourish because we're too worried about what somebody else might think. How might they react to it? I hear over and over again, wow, I could have never said that to so-and-so. They would have freaked out at me. Well, sometimes that has to happen. If that's your truth and that's your reality, you need to approach your life from a place of genuineness and authenticity. Of course, you want to be cognizant or at least considerate of what that other person might think or feel if they're really somebody that might be included or might be affected by it. Sure, we want to be considerate, but I work with a lot of people that go through their life or have gone through their life leading up to meeting me that really, really, really worry far too much about comparing themselves or measuring up to Susie up the street or Bob up the block, and they're not living their organic, true, authentic life. They might have a dream or an aspiration, and they reach out to their family members and they're like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. And they're like, oh, that's not safe. That sounds like it's insane. Like, why would you want to take that risk? Well, here's the deal. So the only thing that we as adults should be asking ourselves is this something that I truly want to experience in my life? Is this something that I want? Is it something that I want to feel, do, be? And if so, all we have to do is put together a proper action plan and make it happen. You know, we can be and do whatever we want to be. It's our perception that gets in our way. If we think that we can't, if we perceive that something is unreachable for us, then it's going to be unreachable for us. But if we think, oh my gosh, I want this super bad, I'm going to figure out what it's going to take to make it happen. So sure, a lot of people, say, that's crazy, you're insane. I'm never going to live in the mansion or, make $1 million in a year. But that might not be true. You just have to work your way to it. I find that most people want it to happen overnight. They want it to be fast. They want to say, I've made up my mind. I'm going to do this. I want this in my life. But wow, I really don't want to do the work or the investigation or the research or the study or whatever to make it happen. Oh, and by the way, I don't want to tell anybody that this is what I want in my life because I might get embarrassed. They might judge me. They might laugh at me. What if I fail? Then everybody's going to know that I failed. And I have to say that anybody that's ever achieved anything in their life, especially any level of greatness, they've had to put themselves out there. Look, I'm one of them. Okay. If you would have said to me, even 6 months ago, a year ago, hey, you know what? You're going to be talking to people and sharing your life live online and talking about how you got to where you are today. I would have said, you're crazy. Nobody wants to watch me talk on a video. And, I just connected a much better on a personal level, one-on-one inside my office space. And that was me with my fear of feeling like, okay, so if I put a video out there, what if I stumble? What if I say too much? What if, my makeup's not right? Or, all of these things that we go through, my voice, I used to pick apart and judge my voice, but here I am. And you know what? I built a very successful and effective business. And that's where the success comes for me. It wasn't, the dollar figures. It was the the effectiveness of it in not only in my life, because I live everything that I coach, but also in all of my clients' lives. And so yes, there's that monetary reward, and that the continual growth that happens inside my practice. But you know what? I had to walk these steps and these miles just like everybody that I work with does. I had to learn what my core non-physical feeling was. I had to learn how to not presume I knew what everybody was thinking or feeling about me. I had to quit comparing myself to every other counselor, therapist, coach out there. I had to say, you know what, this is me authentically. This is the message that I have. This is what I know. This is what I've learned. This is what I've created. And I believe in it wholeheartedly. So here I am. And it has worked miracles in my life. And I function at a very high level now. I have a lot of balance and all of these things. So I've been able to manifest everything that I want in my life by believing in it and letting go of what everybody else might think, say, or feel about who I am, the person, who I am, the business owner, who I am as a practitioner, because it's none of my business what everybody else thinks. It only matters to me how I feel about it, that I'm leading by a moral and ethical example, and that I'm transparently offering myself and my services out there to everybody that I work with and serve. And so all of the naysayers, they can be the naysayers. That's on them. The only way I can change somebody's perception about me is to continue to be who I am. And they can either listen or they cannot. So again, I'm here to tell you, we've got to quit comparing ourselves to the Joneses. We've got to quit comparing ourselves to the supermodels. We've got to quit comparing ourselves to the mannequins at the clothing store. We have to quit comparing ourselves to the number on the scale, whatever it is, right? We have to just be who we want to and need to be for ourselves in our lives, and embrace it, love it, own it. And if somebody doesn't understand it, let's have them ask us why. Help us understand who you are. People ask me all the time, and I'm like, here, let me share with you who I am. Let me share with you how I got here. Let me share with you why I think and feel these things. So read the blog. It's a long one, but it's got some really critical points in there. And Jake, take some time to observe and look at that. How are you comparing yourself to others? And how are you trying to measure? What are you trying to measure up to? Are you trying to measure up to your own expectations or somebody else's? Are you worried about somebody else's expectations? Or are you worried about your own expectations? Are you worried about letting yourself down or somebody else? What is that and what's driving that? And let's get that locus of control reined in and get you really operating from a place that creates a lot of pride inside of yourself. Not a boast or an ego booster, but just being proud of yourself for living out loud and being transparent, authentic, genuine, and let's do some growing this week. I look forward to hearing from you. Let's have some conversation. Talk soon.